In 2006, Cornerstone Q's debuted their first release, Requiem for a Tower. It was a runaway success that led to their crowning achievement, Eton Path. Recorded at Sir George Martin's famed Air Studios in London, Eton Path featured the adaptation of Led Zeppelin's 10 Years Gone in Kashmir, titled 10 Years Kashmir, Movement 1 and 2. Recording in Air Studios is literally a miraculous experience. I mean, you can go with a metaphor that it's a converted cathedral, but it has such a storied history, and just that it was established by Sir George Martin, that the autographed score for Yesterday literally hangs on the wall. It makes you give your best. The London Studio Orchestra frequently records there, and when they're in the room, you're inspired by just the sound in the room itself. It's mind-blowing. Hello, I'm Nathan Duvall. I'm a producer, musician. We're here in London recording an album called Eton Path.
The first album we worked on was Air Lyndhurst. Then earlier this year we did the Holliston and Stops recording, and now we're doing our third project together. Air Studios is pretty unique. It's probably one of the three leading studios in London. The other two being Angel Studios and one you've probably never heard of called Abbey Road. Of course, that's where the Beatles recorded most of their numbers, and a number of very famous classical recordings were made there as well. But this is a fantastic hall to be recording in. It's got a great acoustic. There's a great team here on in the booth on the engineering side, and it's a fantastic place to work. I'm really privileged to be here.
There's so much history in the walls itself because people have prayed there, people have played, people have given their best in that room. What you're seeing is an amazing opportunity that doesn't happen that many times in your life, either as a composer or as a publisher or musician. Most people don't get to walk into a studio like Air and perform to the best of their ability. That's what makes this opportunity so special. We wanted to replicate the success from Requiem for a Tower, so we decided to take one of our favorite songs, Led Zeppelin's Kashmir, and abbreviate it and create a finale that isn't in the original song. In music for trailers, you're generally trying to amplify all the emotion in a song and bring it to the fore, to literally grab hold of the theater audience or those watching on television on their computers, so that they become emotionally invested and they want to see the end of the film itself. You're generally looking for songs that grow or have a huge dynamic range, or that allow you the ability to adapt and create that dynamic range that might not exist. With Led Zeppelin's Kashmir, you already have an inherent build, just not the succinct finale that's required for a film trailer. You generally have to punch out, or what they call hit out. We decided to abbreviate Kashmir and then create that intense finale.
So we've been at this since Saturday morning, was our first session with the orchestra. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, that's about right now. We can probably deal with 10 milliseconds later still. Now we have to make that sound natural. So we stitch it back together with the bits that came before and after. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Growing up playing the violin is fine until you reach your teenage years and everyone else is going out and going to parties and you've got to practice every day.
For our adaptation of 10 Years Gone, we decided to split the guitar solo in half. We thought it'd be really exciting to have a violinist interpret Jimmy Page's solo instead of just having one guitarist play through the entire piece. About a year previously, we had met Anna Phoebe, who had just released an album called Gypsy. We thought she was the perfect person for this role.
I actually tell, when parents ask me, I say be strict with your children and make them practice, because I think children nowadays, they do everything. They do a bit of piano, they do a bit of guitar, they do a bit of horse riding, they do a bit of ice skating, or whatever they're doing. They have like 10 different hobbies. And my parents, when I was growing up, were always very strict that you do one instrument and you do it well. My relationship with my violin, it feels when I'm playing it's an extension of myself, and definitely that's a very close relationship. But I also play in rock bands where I've got pyrotechnics and lasers and I'm running through the crowd and I'm diving on the stage and playing on my knees. I wouldn't be playing a £500,000 instrument to be doing that. So my instrument, for me personally, it's more the way that a guitar is for a guitarist. It's a tool. I wouldn't smash it up at the end of a show. I definitely wouldn't do that. But for me, it's a tool to express myself. My violin's got a few scratches on the back, yeah. Completely crazy. Nathan sent me an email, and then the second email, first of all he said, oh, would you be interested in working with us? Of course the answer is yes. Then the second email was this list of points of different people he was working with, and the different aspects of the project. And I think it started off with sort of 50 members of the London Symphony Orchestra, and it ended with in the middle somewhere was Azam the singer, and then there was some drummer who played for Guns N' Roses. So I think it was just this incredible list of people. So that's what I know. And yeah, just the fact that we get to do a cover of 10 Years Gone, the Led Zeppelin track. I mean, that's just amazing.
My name is Ben Mike, not to be confused with Denmark, the country. I'm British, and I'm playing the guitar on this session. Yeah, with Zeppelin, obviously their heyday was before I was alive, so they're almost like a mystical entity to people my age. They're some sort of magic, but just being able to look back through their live recordings and listen to all the albums, it's the touching point for a lot of guitar players when you're first starting off. Classic songs.
I think 10 Years Gone, I think, touches a lot of people because I think you always see, it's very easy to pick up on the glamorous side of rock and roll and being in a band and being on the road, and obviously Led Zeppelin, I mean, Robert Plant and Joe Page are these icons of rock and roll, and here's this guy singing completely vulnerable and actually saying, the choice that you have to make is that you go on the road, but everything that you're missing, and you make choices you miss out on your family and your friends, and actually the stability in life that you have is something that you don't have when you're on the road in a band. think doing covers is always a really big challenge, isn't it? Especially the fans, like Led Zeppelin fans, they hold these kind of songs so close to themselves, and I think people can be really possessive. So definitely doing a cover of this is a huge challenge. But the way that, I mean, the orchestrations, I've actually just heard for the first time today. What Jennifer's done is absolutely incredible, and Nathan and Jennifer's vision is amazing.
I'm Jennifer Hammond, and I've been involved with this project, Eton Path, as a composer on 2 tracks and an arranger on the 10 Years Gone, and then orchestrator for many of the other tracks.
I think I would probably describe the past couple of weeks of preparation as pretty high pressure. I'm sure my husband and family would describe it that way because they didn't see much of me. So yeah, my daughter said, "Mommy, you're always working. Why are you always working?" But it's been really fun. I mean, it's been like a labor of love working on songs that you know, you feel that you want to be contributing to. But you know, it's always a lot of things happening at the last minute and late nights, but wouldn't trade it. At the time when Nathan was working at the ant farm, that's when he met Jordan Davids, who is now Jordan Duvall.
My name is Jordan Duvall, and I'm in charge of all the business affairs and the graphic design and overseeing of the website. Well, the first CD was Requiem for a Tower, and that was sort of, you know, the main focus of that was re-recording the Requiem for a Tower cue from Lord of the Rings. And Nathan also co-wrote a few songs with Daniel Nielsen, and then also had a few other composers write songs. This CD has been a much larger project than any in the past, I believe.
Nathan wanted to get the choir to all stomp together on the risers, and it really turned out to be a cool sound, especially with the processing that Nick has added to it.
One of the most rewarding aspects from this entire recording is the fact that Air Studios asked us to use our version of Kashmir in their promotional film on their website. I mean, imagine this, that a studio that was established by Sir George Martin, you know, one of your heroes, asks you to use your music to help promote their product. It's outrageous, and it's one of the things that makes me feel best about what I'm doing and where we're going with Cornerstone Cues. Growing up in Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s, you couldn't help but be a huge Lakers fan, especially if you're a kid into basketball. And one of the most exciting things that came out of this recording was the 2009 use of Kashmir as the theme for the Lakers championship. It's been used by Walt Disney Studios, X Factor in the UK, and all over YouTube, which is really exciting. You get to see fans from Afghanistan to Malaysia using your version of Kashmir to promote the media that they love.
It's funny because sometimes we'll be listening to a take, and I don't know why I even ask anymore. I'll be looking at Nathan going, is that too big? Or is that too much at the end? I'm like, why did I say that? I know what the answer is. It's never too much, really. It doesn't get much better than this, yeah, to be recording with close to 100 musicians in Air Studios. Yeah, that's a pretty good day, I would think.
My name's Daniel Heath. I'm from London. I moved to the States about 6 years ago after working in a studio in London for a year. Nathan took my CD, and I didn't hear anything back for a while, so I just thought that, you know, nothing was going to come of it. Nathan got back to me probably about 3 months ago, I think, and he said, I listened to your CD and I really like it, and there's a track on it which I didn't have a name for because I'm really bad at naming stuff. I can't come up with names for things, so it was called, I think it was called Chill. I made the change that he asked for, and then he said, I think instead of calling it this, we're going to call it Eton Path, which is going to be the name of the album.
Well, last time when we came to record, we stayed right near Belsize Park, and the street right below where we were staying was called Eton Avenue. So he wanted to call the album Eton Path, sort of an ode to where we'd stayed, and then also the path of Eton Path in Hampstead Heath, an homage to a path being sort of a segue to another place.
It was completely amazing to me walking in here yesterday, seeing an orchestra, play my music. I mean, it was completely overwhelming and amazing. This is the first time an orchestra has ever played my music, which, I mean, to tell you the truth, like yesterday when I got home, I mean, I know I'm jet lagged and stuff, but I didn't get to sleep till 7 in the morning because I was so excited, and I was up again at 9, and I'm still, I don't know if I look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but I feel bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So, it was the first time. It's unreal.
What we wanted to do was create an eclectic recording for use in media worldwide. That's the reason why there's such a diverse amount of talent. We had Azam Ali, Deirdre Dubois, Damian Marley, collaborating with artists like Buckethead and Brain, and others from Pakistan, France, and Japan. The idea was we'd have multiple voices so that you could have a use in a video game or a use in a film that wasn't necessarily located in the United States or wasn't specific to an audience that was English speaking.
I guess the thing with Nathan is that he just doesn't ever want to do anything halfway, and I respect that completely. Why do it if you're not going to do it all the way? And so that's, I think, probably part of the, amplifying the emotion that he talks about is let's like really go for it.
We took a big risk with the recording of Eton Path, and we're really happy with the results. And now we'd like to build on that success with a new project that's hosted on Kickstarter. It's called All Together Now. What we'd like to do is return to London and record with the London Studio Orchestra and take those assets and create a virtual instrument sample library. It will give all our fans the ability to use all of our assets that they wouldn't necessarily be able to afford, and then compose their own music. We think this is the future of the music industry. If you've been moved by what you've seen, we'd really like you to log on to Kickstarter now and consider donating to our campaign called All Together Now. Please join us.